Howard, I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. Haddad is out at the jail
Okay,
and
I
he's
did.
got, okay,
Okay, so I don't see them on yet. So we
okay.
can start it. We can start, I guess, at ACDC with your clients if you have any there,
Um,
Francois.
I don't
Everybody's
have,
with Haddad.
yeah,
Everybody's with
Okay.
Haddad.
What about the South Annex here? Who?
that's my case, Judge. I do need to speak with him. So if we want to go ahead and do that.
Okay, this will be a good time. So can we put Mr. White and the South Annex into a breakout room, please? Okay, and we will be, I guess, in recess until courtroom 2 comes on with us with Mr. O'Don. Let's see, is this Miss Alnacia Handy on with me? Is this Miss Handy here?
Hey, Judge.
Yes, Mr. Dodd. Good
Hey, good
morning.
morning. We're the signal is not working at all at the jail. The box is not working to connect. So we may end up, if it's not fixed, we may end up using my computer, Judge, if it's okay with you.
Oh, of course, that's fine, Mr. Dodd. So
And
if y'all want to go ahead and, we have ACD here,
I'm
DC.
ready, Judge.
Okay, so I believe everyone at ACDC is with you. So who do we have first there?
And Judge, Ms. Tucker, just so that you're aware as well, I was able to speak to the ones I didn't speak to earlier, and they're going to be
Okay.
pleased. I did have one question at the appropriate time, Ms. Tucker, as far as the offer us on one of the cases. So
Okay, we can address that when it comes up.
sounds good. Other than that, Judge, I'm ready.
Okay, very good. Who do we have first there?
Okay, Judge, I do have a quick announcement for positions number 6 and 7. Brianna Beard, she's going to be a reset because she refused to talk to the attorney.
Okay. Mr. Dodd, that's your case, I believe. When would you like me to reset that until?
Yes, we can, if we can reset it for next Tuesday. I actually went to see her yesterday, and I had the same encounter. So if we can reset it for next week.
Okay, I believe that's 211.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so Miss Brianna Beard, position 6 and 7 will be reset till next Tuesday. Okay,
And this is going to be position number 14, Ashley Burton.
and this is going to be a negotiated plea, is that correct?
Judge, let me look at my notes, but yes, it is a plea.
Okay, good morning, Miss Burton. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, Miss Burton. Yes, Miss Tucker.
And Ms.
Good
Tucker, I
morning.
apologize. It's going to be community service on that case instead of the fine, in lieu of the fine.
Okay. Miss Burton is pleading guilty to count 1, cruelty to animals, with the terms 12 months probated, a 50 hours of community service, to complete the Bark Animal Cruelty online course, to book and release, and she may have no animals in the home for a year. On count 2, cruelty to animals, it's going to be 12 months probated, to complete 25 hours of community service. On count 3, no rabies vaccine, it's 12 months probation, 25 additional hours of community service. And on count 4, no Fulton license, it's only 6 months probation, with a $125 fine. All of those probations are to run concurrent.
Mr. Dodd?
Your Honor, we stipulate as to venue, factual basis, and identity, and we just ask the court to follow the state's recommendation. The only request is if the court would consider terminating her probation upon completion of all the conditions, Judge.
Okay. And tell me again about the conversion. Are all the fines converted to community
Honor,
service?
There were an alternative. The offer was either community service or a fine, and my client wished a community service. The only issue was count 4, and I'm not sure if we can just convert that to a community service or waive it altogether, Judge.
Yes, Judge, I didn't prep this case. I'm reading Shelley's notes. It didn't say 125 or community service, but I have no objection to converting it to community service.
Okay. How many hours of community service?
So it is 50 plus 25 plus 25 plus 12, so
Oh, no, I just meant,
112.
so 12 hours for position number 4.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure of. Okay, if nothing further, Ms. And you're going to null pros position number 15, is that correct?
Yes.
I
Okay.
got a question. Will position number 4 be continued 6 months of probation or 12 months probation and 12-hour community service? Because you got 6 months. Is it going to be changed to
Yes.
12 months?
So it's only 6 months for a Fulton license tag charge. We
So
cannot.
she's only going to be on it for 6 months to do 12-hour community service hours. Is that correct?
Correct.
But the other cases, she's 12 months probation.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Okay, all right, if nothing further, Ms. Burton, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 002653C, you wish to plead guilty to 2 counts of cruelty to animals, no proof of current rabies vaccination, and no Fulton County license tag, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning? You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation? Is that a yes?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Ms. Burton, when you complete the terms of the probation, I'll have it go to a non-reporting status. So you won't be, sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation and have to pay those fees, okay? Good luck to you, ma'am.
And Your Honor, if you can bear with us about 3 minutes. Apparently, we're going to switch to courtroom 1. So I'm going to move my computer there, but hopefully we're set up in courtroom 1. So just bear with us.
Okay. I'll hold till you come back, Mr. Haddad. We'll go ahead and take Mr. White's matter. Do you have an announcement in that case, Mr. White?
The South Annex case, Judge, that will be a plea this morning.
Okay, tell me who that is, please.
Sorry, Marion Rashad Green, he's position 58.
58, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Green. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you. Let's see. I had Mr. Green placed on this calendar, specifically from the SEA calendar, Mr. White, because I wanted to see if we could get, it's my understanding that he is, I wanted to know if he had a place to go when he was released. And I specifically asked the SEA attorneys to communicate with you all because that was my desire. I wanted to put this young man back out on the street without having any place to go. Was that communicated to you all, Mr. White?
Judge, this is the first time I'm hearing of that aspect.
Okay, I
Um,
thought,
he, when I was speaking with him a moment ago, he did mention his mother, I believe, and some other people. So we can just, I guess we can ask him, or do you want me to go back? I can go back into a breakout room and get more detail if you'd like, or however you-
okay. I dealt with this case for a good little while at SEA regarding these allegations here. At that time, the alleged victim's mother was on the line. My request at that time was that, again, that he have some type of parent or guardian or someone, someplace that he could go. So I just don't want to put this young man back out on the street without having a place to go. So if you can verify that for me, Mr. White, I would appreciate it.
Okay, I will do. I'll see what I can do, Judge. No problem.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. So if we can place Mr. White and the South Annex back into a breakout room, please.
Ms. Strong, are you available? Apparently you're the host now. Can you do the breakout room?
I just did. I put them in breakout room too.
Nope.
All right.
It's not on my end. I'm not.
And earlier I sounded for Miss Alnicia Handy. Miss Handy, I see you on the line. I could address you now if you can come on camera for me, ma'am.
Hey, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Miss Handy. You're on my DV bench warrant calendar. That calendar is at 11 o'clock. I'm happy to have you stay here from now until 11 o'clock, but we won't be able to handle your case until 11. So if you have some business that you want to do and come back to me at 11, I'm happy.
Yes, I just skipped my yoga class. I told them, I said, I thought I had court at 11, but I looked at the notice and it said 9, so I just hopped on, but ideally it had said 11, so I can get back on at 11.
Okay, it's up to you. If you want to be here, I'm happy
No.
to have you. Okay.
Okay, I'll
All
see you at
right.
11. Thank
I'll
you.
see you back then. You're welcome, ma'am. Mr. Haddad, are we ready?
Think we are.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So, and where would you like to go next?
Judge, we can go ahead and do courtroom 1. We're gonna do 1 and 1.
Okay, all right, so
We could start
let's
with,
see.
Your Honor, we can go to position number 64, Mr. Chanel Stewart.
Okay,
Stewart, come down.
Good morning, Mr. Stewart. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. It's my understanding this is also going to be a plea, Mr. Haddad?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Ms. Tucker.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Stewart is pleading to one count of battery with the terms 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, to complete the Family Violence Intervention Program, complete 40 hours of community service, and have no further contact with Deshauna Newsom.
Mr. Haddad?
Judge, we stipulate to venue, factual basis, an identity, Judge, and we just ask the court to follow the state's recommendation.
Okay, Mr. Stewart, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 000352E, you wish to plead guilty to battery, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Correct.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Stewart. When you complete the terms of the probation, I'll have it go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation and have to pay those fees, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Position number 16, Callahan.
That's gonna be a negotiated plea, Judge.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Callahan. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You can place your hand down, ma'am. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, she's pleading to one count of theft by shoplifting. The terms are time served, which is 13 days.
Mr. Dodd?
Judge, it's a negotiated plea. We stipulate as far as identity, factual basis, and venue.
Ms. Callahan, it's my understanding that in case 17 CR 006553C, you wish to plead guilty to theft by shoplifting. Is that correct? You hear me, ma'am?
Yeah, you gotta talk loud.
Okay. And you wish to plead guilty to theft by shoplifting. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning? You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation? Again for me?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Callahan. Good luck to you, ma'am.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
Who do we have next?
Your Honor, I have a question in quorum 1. Will there be
Okay.
attorneys logging on for the conflicts we have this morning?
For the which one?
Conflicts?
We're trying to get a conflict attorney now. So I think the only conflict that we need will be positions 22 through 25, Marqual Davis. The other one, position 17, I was told earlier that it's, Prince Daniels is going to be seen by Judge Besson tomorrow.
Okay, so he's,
So we're trying to get a conflict for 22 through 25.
so 17 won't be needed for today?
That's correct, yes.
Is Tom ready?
Sort of.
Okay. Well, are you ready to send?
I'm ready, whatever.
Okay, we can go to position number 60, Mr. Sanchez.
Okay.
And this is also a negotiated plea.
Yes, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Sanchez. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down, Mr. Sanchez. Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Sanchez is pleading to count one, simple assault with the terms 12 months to serve 44 days, credit for time served 22 days, balance probated, an 8-week anger management course, and have no further contact with Bruno Oliveira Barcelos, MAIA. He's also pleading to count 2, criminal trespass with the terms 12 months to serve 44 days, credit for time served 22 days, balance probated, to complete 40 hours of community service, and to stay away from 1217 Creekside Way in Roswell.
Mr. Dodd?
Your Honor, we stipulate factual basis, venue, and identity. I would ask the court to consider terminating or non-report probation once all the conditions are complete. My client's brother is actually on Zoom, Judge. My client was going to be living with him. He runs his business. So anyway, that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Sanchez, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 0006261C, you wish to plead guilty to simple assault and criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Sanchez. When you complete the terms of the probation, I'll have it go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation and have to pay those fees. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Position number 18, Davis.
Let's see, this is also a negotiated plea.
Yes, Judge, it is.
Hey, good morning, Ms. Davis. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, you're gonna have to speak up or scoot up for me a little bit because we can't hear you. Davis.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Yes, Ms. Tucker.
Ms. Davis will be pleading to count 1, criminal trespass with the terms 12 months to serve 34 days, credit for time served 17 days, balance probated with restitution in the amount of $350 to Erica Lowe. And count 2, disorderly conduct, will be 12 months probation concurrent with count 1.
Mr. Dodd?
Your Honor, we stipulate factual basis, identity, and venue. Judge, I would ask the court to consider terminating her probation upon completion. This incident was from back in 2019 when my client was in high school. She has since graduated, turned her life around, Judge, has not had any problems at all with the law, and basically is here on a failure to appear. I think at some point she had moved, and I'm assuming something happened, either didn't update or whatnot. But those are the reasons why I've asked to terminate upon payment of the restitution. She's got a job and she's got family and she's good to go.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dodd. And it's my understanding that position number 19 will be null pros. Is that correct?
Correct.
Ms. Davis, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 000113F, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and disorderly conduct. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning? You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation? You, you can ask Mr. Haddad a question. Does it have to do with the sentence? Again, we can't hear you, Ms. Davis. Apparently she has a question about the sentence. Mr. Haddad?
If you're asking if it's time served, you'll be getting out later tonight or tomorrow, and the judge had followed my recommendation. Once you pay the restitution, your probation will terminate. Is that your question? Okay.
Okay. And I believe my last question to you, Ms. Davis, was you've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation? You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury? Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Davis. When you complete the terms of the probation will terminate. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on probation. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Next, we can go to position 1 through 4, Mr. William. Abraham.
Also a negotiated plea, is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
And Tom, we did get an invoice for the restitution in position 3. So I emailed that to you.
All right.
And
It
And
is pretty extensive. It's gonna be about $2,300. If that's gonna change the plea.
This,
you need to
All right.
speak with him, Mr. White, or have Mr. Dodd speak with him?
whatever's easiest, Judge. Basically, we discussed the possibility yesterday of restitution because there wasn't, it said TBD, and I think he was in agreement. Mr. Abrams, do you understand that it's going to be about $2,300 that you're going to have to pay in restitution while on probation?
Yes, sir.
And you still want to go forward?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And Ms. Tucker, if you can make sure to get who that needs to be paid to Ms. Lewis for me, please.
Will do.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Abrams. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, speak up a bit for me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down, Mr. Abrams. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. In position 1, Mr. Abrams will be pleading to simple battery family violence with the terms 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, to complete the family violence intervention program, and have no further violent contact with Shakiria Adams. In position 2, he'll be pleading to simple battery family violence with the terms 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, to complete a family violence intervention program, to have no further violent contact with Joseph Duffy, and that is to run concurrent with position 1. And then in position 3, he's pleading to criminal trespass and damage to property. That'll be 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, restitution of $2,300 to Michelle Burt, to stay away from 585 Irish Street in Atlanta, and have no further contact with Michelle Burt. Position 2, criminal trespass, will be 12 months probation concurrent with count 1. And position 4 will be null prost.
So White?
Your Honor, we would just ask that you consider waiving probation fees so that could be applied to the restitution, and then his probation terminate once he completes all of his requirements.
Okay, if nothing further, Mr. Abrams, it's my understanding that in case 18 CR 008964B, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery family violence. In case 18 CR 008969B, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery family violence. And in case 25 CR 000354B, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and damage to property and criminal trespass. Is that right? Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
He was trying to understand, like, I'm going to, the family violence and, the restitution, right?
Correct.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay. So my last question to you, Mr. Abrams, is that you've been represented by Mr. White. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up that right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the pleas as negotiated, Mr. Abrams. I'll waive 2 months of the probation fees to give you an opportunity to get a job and get on your feet. And when you complete the terms of the probation, I'll have it go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation and have to pay those fees. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, Your Honor, we can go to position number 5, Mr. DeAndre Anderson.
Also a negotiated plea, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Anderson.
Morning.
I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Mr. Anderson will be pleading to 1 count of theft by taking with the terms 12 months to serve 124 days, credit for time served 62 days, balance probated to complete the anti-theft course, and probation will terminate upon completion.
Has he been in custody for 62 days just on this theft by taking charge?
Let me check.
Judge, that's my understanding.
That's correct, Judge. He's been in jail just for this theft by taking charge. There's nothing else.
Okay, I think that 62 days in custody on this charge is sufficient. The court will order that balance be suspended.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything further, Mr. White?
Nothing from defense, Judge.
Mr. Anderson, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007957A, you wish to plead guilty to theft by taking. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
Yes, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I will not accept the plea as negotiated. This court sentence will be 12 months to serve 124 days, credit for time served 62 days, balance suspended. Does Mr. Anderson need any assistance with a social worker for any type of housing or anything of that nature, Mr. White?
Judge, frankly, it wasn't discussed, so I don't know.
Okay, so if he does, Mr. Haddad, can we make sure that if he needs assistance with housing, that we have a social worker give him what he needs for that?
Sure. I'll talk to him in a second, Judge.
Okay, I appreciate it. Good luck to you, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Joy.
Who do we have next?
Petition number 36 to 37, Shannon John.
So it's fine.
Also a negotiated plea.
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Johns. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down, Mr. Johns. Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Mr. Johns will be pleading to count 1, criminal trespass with the terms 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance suspended with a stay away from 504 Boulevard, apartment 201 in Atlanta. Count 2 is simple assault family violence with the terms 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated to complete the family violence intervention program and have no further contact with Thursday Hutchinson. And count 3, theft by taking, 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, and 40 hours community service. The failure to appear will be null prost.
Thank you. Mr. White?
Judge, we just asked, you accept the plea as negotiated.
Mr. Johns, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 002953A, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass, simple assault, family violence, and theft by taking. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Johns. When you complete the terms of the probation, I'll have it go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation and have to pay those fees, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
That means both of these FTAs come off me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
Position number 20, Imani Davis.
Also a negotiated plea.
That is correct, Judge.
Good morning, Ms. Davis. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You can place your hand down. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. In position 21, she's pleading to the amended charge of affray with time served, which is 110 days. Count 2 will also be time served. And position 20, that FTA will be null prost.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, the battery was amended to affray, and she's pleading also guilty to willful obstruction of law enforcement.
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Haddad?
We stipulate to venue, identity, and factual basis, Judge, and we'll ask the court to follow them to recommended negotiations, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Davis, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 005972F, you wish to plead guilty to affray and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is that correct? Say it again for me, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty? I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Davis. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Ms. Tucker, make sure they file down that, affray. I don't see it in the system.
Will do.
I appreciate that.
Judge, we're, over here in courtroom one, we're ready to proceed with all the pleas in ACDC until other folks come into the courtroom.
Judge, briefly on Mr. Marion Rashad Green. He gave me 2 phone numbers to call. I did speak with the people, and apparently neither one of them are his legal guardian or parent, and they are not willing for him to come. He was staying with them, but they are not willing to take responsibility to have him coming back. My understanding is his mother is moved to Augusta, and I do not have a phone number for her. So I do not know how you didn't realize my camera was off.
How old is Mr. Green?
It looks like he'll be 18 in a few months. I saw it earlier.
Okay, right, so he's 17 right now.
Yes.
So, do you have a phone number for his mother?
I don't. Yeah, he turns 18 in July, Judge.
Where does he, and I know, I see you there, Ms. Hardage, and I understand that you were with me on a week ago. I reset this case, just so you know the history of it, Mr. White. He was on the SEA calendar a week ago. He's not supposed to be on this calendar for 2 weeks, but I didn't want him sitting in jail for 2 weeks. So I placed him on specifically on this calendar so that, and I understand that you didn't get the information. But I let Mr. Well, one of the attorneys at the SEA calendar, I made sure that they would get you that information, because I don't want to, I didn't want to keep this young man in custody, but at the same time, I don't want to put a 17-year-old back out on the street without having any place to go, especially given the concerns that he's been going back allegedly to this young 15-year-old's house. We had an extensive discussion about this at the SEA calendar, and I was assured that they would make sure that this didn't fall through the cracks.
I understand, Judge. I went back and did an email with his search in my email with his name just to make sure I didn't miss anything, and I did not see anything.
No, I'm not trying to place blame, Mr. White. I'm just trying to make sure that this young man is just not placed back on the street without having someplace to go.
Right, and I completely understand.
So if you've got any thoughts for the court, or
at this point,
help me out.
No leads, unless he can now provide me with a number for his actual mother. He does have his hand up.
Okay. Do you want to talk to him? You want me to see if we can get an address?
Let me do one more breakout with him, Judge, and see what.
Okay. And this is, and on the line, if you see, this is Ms. Hardage, who was here at the SEA calendar, who is the mother of the young lady who he has been going to her home.
Understand.
Okay, so she's on the line, and in regards to this matter also, she has been very empathetic to this young man also, as far as, knowing that he's only 17 and her daughter's only 15. Okay, so if you can, kind of, just help the court out. Okay, I'm happy to have you go back into a breakout room.
Absolutely, Judge. I'll see. If there's
Okay.
information I can get.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Tom, I'm sorry. Mr. White? Oh, he went out. I'm sorry, Francois. I would have gotten him to finish up there.
No, everybody here is for Mr. Haddad, so we're good.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, we're
good.
good.
Okay, who do we have?
Position number 30, Ms. Green.
And this is a negotiated plea, Mr. Haddad.
It is, Judge.
Good morning, Ms. Green. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You can place your hand down, Ms. Green. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. In position 31, she's pleading to one count of DUI. DUI less safe, that's 12 months to serve 26 days, credit for time served, 13 days, balance probated, to complete 40 hours of community service, the alcohol drug evaluation and any treatment, risk reduction course, and 1 victim impact panel. Count 2, failure to obey traffic signs, that's time served, and count 3, reckless driving will merge with count 1. On position 30, that FTA will be null prost.
Thank you. Mr. Haddad?
Judge, we stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identity. Ask the court to follow the state's recommendation. The only request I have, Judge, the court consider non-reporting probation once she completes all the conditions. I've also explained to her the steps to get an affidavit of first offense, Judge. She's obviously in custody. I went through the steps yesterday and explained to her what she needs to do to get that, Judge.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Green, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 001504E, you wish to plead guilty to driving under the influence of alcohol, less safe, and failure to obey traffic signal signs or markings. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Ms. Green, when you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status. Your client has her hand up, Mr. Dodd.
Good morning, Mr. Haddad. I just have a question. I have a hold for Henry County for simple trespassing. How are y'all going to go about that?
So, Judge, I apologize. I was unaware, but what's going to happen is Henry County will come pick you up. Once you resolve Henry County, once you're out of custody, that's when you need to report to probation.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Good luck to you, Ms. Green.
Thank you.
Position number 38 and 39, Lloyd.
And this is also going to be a negotiated plea. Is that right, Mr. Dodd?
It is, Judge.
Good morning, Ms. Lloyd. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, Ms. Lloyd. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. On position 38, Ms. Lloyd will be pleading to simple battery with the terms 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 24 days, balance probated, a 12-week anger management course, no further contact with Kahia, Caheia Pope, and to stay away from 1897 Jonesboro Road in Atlanta. In position 39, Ms. Lloyd is charged with 3 counts of simple battery. On count 1, it's going to be 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 24 days, balance probated, 12 weeks of anger management, and no further contact with Siobhan Lampkin or Larry Beauchamp. Count 2 will be 12 months probation, 12 months served 60 days, credit for time served 24 days, balance probated, concurrent with count 1, and count 3 will merge with count 1.
Mr. Dodd?
Your Honor, we stipulate factual basis, venue, and identity, and ask the court to consider non-reporting probation upon completion of all her conditions. I believe she's got 6 more days or so to do before she is released, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Lloyd, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 006628J, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery, and in case 25 CR 000217J, you wish to plead guilty to 2 counts of simple battery. Is that correct? You have to speak up a bit for me, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
And I will accept the pleas as negotiated, Ms. Lloyd. When you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation and have to pay those fees, okay? All right, good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Position number 55, Owen.
And Ms. Tucker, this is the one that I'm assuming it's time served. The recommendation seemed to look like it is.
Position 55. Yes.
Okay. And is the recommendation is probation, correct?
Yes, but we're not asking for anything besides to stay away from MARTA, so I guess we'll do balance suspended.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
We're ready for a plea. Ms. Owens, if you take the guilty plea today, you'll be released later tonight or tomorrow morning. You have to stay away from MARTA for the next 11 and a half months, okay? Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Owens. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Thank you for raising your hand for me, ma'am. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. Ms. Owens will be pleading to count 1, fare evasion, and count 2, criminal trespass. It's going to be 12 months to serve 28 days, credit for time served 14 days, balance suspended with a stay away from MARTA.
Mr. Dodd?
Your Honor, we stipulate to factual basis, venue, and identity, and ask the court to follow the recommended sentence.
Okay. Ms. Owens, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 000335G, you wish to plead guilty to fare evasion and criminal trespass. Is that correct? Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning? You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation? Do you understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury? Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty? I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Owens. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. We're completed here at ACDC.
All right, very good. I will see you this afternoon.
Thank you.
Who do we have at medical?
Position number 61 and 62, Mr. Sessoms.
So White, you need a breakout with Mr. Sessoms?
I do, Your
Okay, so we'll go ahead and place medical and Mr. White into a breakout room, and I guess that's all we can take right now. So we'll be in recess until he returns. Let's see, Ms. Strong, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you get the request to place medical and Mr. White into a breakout room?
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Okay, yes, please place Mr. White and medical into that breakout room for me. Thank you. Yes, Mr. White.
Your Honor, Mr. Sessoms has accepted the state's offer and wishes to enter a guilty plea. He does have a decision on 40 hours of community service or a class, and he's going to take the 40 hours of community.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Sessoms. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Sessoms will be pleading to 1 count of loitering and prowling with the terms 12 months to serve 16 days, credit for time served 8 days, balance probated with 40 hours of community service. Also pleading to pedestrian and roadway, which will be time served. Position 62, his failure to appear will be no crossed.
Mr. White?
Nothing further, Judge. Just actually, his probation terminate once he completes his 40 hours of community service.
Mr. Sessoms, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 005871Y, you wish to plead guilty to loitering and prowling and pedestrian in a roadway. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Sessoms. When you complete the terms of the probation will terminate. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you're not going to be on probation. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. No. So what I gotta do now?
And Your Honor, an update on Mr. Green.
Okay.
Um, he did not have any other numbers memorized. He does say that he can stay with his brother. His brother is 19 years old, be turning 20 in June. So I'm not, beyond that, I couldn't really get any more information. Mr. Green's father is deceased, and he hasn't lived with, and I don't believe seen his mother in 3 years. So I'm not sure how we proceed from here.
Okay,
Judge, I would object to him being released to the brother without the brother being here and confirming that he'll take him in.
Well, he doesn't have to be released to his brother. Technically, the state's made an offer for him to enter a guilty plea, and he can accept that. So, I mean, there's no requirement that he have a place to live. I mean, we deal with people that don't have a place to live all the time, and they come through here. So,
If it related to bond, because I'm sure he would need a co-signer.
okay.
Mr. White, can you go to a breakout room with me, please?
Absolutely, Judge.
Ms. Tucker, as well. So can you place Mr. White and Ms. Tucker, myself into a breakout room? Please, Ms. Strong.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, let's see, Mr. Green, can you hear me? All right, so we're trying to find you some placement. We're still gonna try to get in touch with your brother. I'm gonna reset you for a week. But if we get something done before that week, then they're gonna come back to me with a recommendation as to where we can get you placed. So we're brainstorming as far as what we can do so that you can get released.
And Judge, I would ask that, South Annex kind of keep him on hand for a few more minutes if possible, so I can look into the other issue that we discussed.
Okay, so if you can keep them around to the end of the calendar, South Annex. If we can't get it done by the end of the calendar, we'll just have to reset it till next Tuesday. Ms. Hardage, just so you know, we're trying to find some type of placement for Mr. Green at this time. Okay, so if it is reset, I will certainly have the solicitor's office reach out to you so that you can be present at the next hearing, if you choose to be.
I was just going to say, I do know, obviously my daughter Care, she tried to reach out to his aunt's boyfriend. So she tried to reach out to some of his family as well. And they weren't really receptive, unfortunately. So, yeah.
All right, I appreciate that, Ms. Hardage. I know that you've been very empathetic to Mr. Green, so the court just acknowledges that and appreciates you being here, okay? All right, so we'll come back to Mr. Green if we can. Thank you, Mr. White. Who do we have in courtroom 1?
Paul, position 56 or 57.
And will be a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Powell. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You can place your hand down, Mr. Powell. Ms. Tucker? You're on mute there.
Apologies. Mr. Powell will be pleading to 1 count of simple battery, family violence, with the terms 12 months to serve 20 days, credit for time served 10 days, balance probated, with no further violent contact with Brittany Stanberry.
If there are no terms, can that be balance suspended?
Yes.
That was my question.
All right. Anything further, Mr. White?
Nothing further, Judge.
Mr. Powell, it's mine, and position number 57 will be null crossed, correct?
Correct. The failure to appear, yes, will be null crossed.
Thank you. Mr. Powell, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 006112A, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery family violence. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir. No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Powell. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Okay.
Next we'll do position number 50, Mr. Melnick.
Also a negotiated plea.
I think that might be Mr. White's case. I don't know if he needs to.
It is, Mr. Marshall.
Yes, position 50.
That's correct, Judge. I have a plea with a question mark next to it for some reason. I don't. I believe this is a plea, Judge.
Okay, do you need a moment to figure out what your question was?
Mr. Marshall, we decide you're entering a guilty plea. Is that correct?
I got to talk to you.
Okay. I guess, Judge, you can, however we want to do this, you can call or breakout room, whatever's easiest at the jail.
I can have them call you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, I guess we'll be in recess until courtroom 1's available.
And Your Honor, if the court is ready, we have one plea that's actually my case.
Okay,
And that's position number 40 through 45, Magsby. He's got 3 cases and I think 1 or 2 FTAs.
okay, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Magsby. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court through the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Thank you. You can place your hand down, Mr. Magsby. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. Position 43, the theft by shoplifting will be 12 months to serve 340 days, credit for time served 170 days, balance suspended with a stay away from 590 Cascade Ave in Atlanta. For position 44, the criminal trespass will be 12 months to serve 340 days, credit for time served 170 days, balance probated to stay away from that same location, that 590 Cascade Avenue in Atlanta. And on the simple assault, it will be 12 months probation consecutive with an anti-theft course, 8 hours of anger management, and 40 hours community service with no further contact with Edward Brown. And on position 45, that theft by shoplifting will be 12 months to serve 340 days, credit for time served 170 days, balance suspended with a stay away from 590 Cascade Avenue in Atlanta. So a total of 24 months. He'll get credit for the time served 170 days, and the rest will be on probation with those terms.
So he's on probation for 24 months, Ms. Tucker?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Dodd?
Your Honor, we stipulate as far as factual basis, identity, and venue. I'd ask the court to consider once my client completes all the conditions for it to be non-reporting in light of the fact that he's been in custody quite some time.
Okay,
And he does have quite a few conditions, so as long as he completes those, no objection to early termination.
And you might have said it, Ms. Tucker, but positions 40, 41, and 42 will be non-cross.
Yes, the FTAs, yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Magsby, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003644E, you wish to plead guilty to theft by shoplifting. In case 23 CR 005200E, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and simple assault. And in case 23 CR 005201E, you wish to plead guilty to theft by shoplifting. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges and that by pleading guilty to them, you've given up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept the pleas as negotiated. Mr. Magsby, when you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status after the first 12 months, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. White, if you can call courtroom 1 back. So, Mr. Morrow's waiting.
I'm just trying to.
Did you hear that, Mr. White?
Yeah, he's calling. He got it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Haddad,
Yes, Judge.
you're not gonna put Mr. Chataya to work today?
I'm showing him what not to do, so.
Good to see you, Mr. Chataya.
Judge, since we got a second, I wanted to, I guess I can make a couple announcements on my cases.
Okay,
Judge, on position number 69, Robert Young, I will be submitting an evaluation for him, and I'm drafting it right now, Judge, and I'll forward it to Ms. Lewis for the court signature. But we'll be asking to set on a competency calendar, maybe three weeks out, something like that, Judge.
okay, let's see.
If he's gonna set it 3 weeks out, that's gonna be around, February the 20th.
Okay.
February the 27th, I'm sorry, 3 weeks out. It's 1, 2, 3, maybe February the 27th.
Okay, is that good with you, Mr. Haddad?
Yeah, I think that should be enough time to get an evaluation done and back, so we'll know where we stand.
Okay, so we'll reset position 69, Robert Young, to the competency calendar on February 27th.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Ms. Lewis.
You're welcome.
Other announcements?
I guess I can run through my cases. Position number 28, Annie Fields, Judge. We're asking to reset it for a week.
Okay, she'll be reset till next week.
Position number 63, we're waiving arraignment and our plea of not guilty.
Okay,
And position number 65 through 66, Judge, we already did that. We pled him not guilty back a few months ago. I was informed that he's ready to take a plea, which is why I put him back on. Well, I requested to put him back on an SAP calendar, but nothing has changed. And it's still in division and it remains in division, but I just want to let the court know where we're at.
okay,
And final judge position 67, 68, Derek Thornton. I'm requesting reset for a week, Judge.
okay, we'll see him back next Tuesday.
Thank you, Judge. And I think that's all the cases that I have, but I'm gonna remain here, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Lewis, Ms. Strong, we haven't been able to reach a conflict attorney for positions 22 through 25.
I haven't had no update at this time. Let me see and find out.
So I do.
Well, let's see. It's not going, Ms. Lewis,
Yes,
it's not it's not a time served plea, so why don't we just reset this for a week out?
2/11.
Yes,
Okay, that's
and hopefully we
22,
can
25.
yes, hopefully we can get a
Conflict
conflict attorney by that time, and they'll have enough time to speak with them.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay,
Mhm.
That's why I thought I'm gonna to do it.
okay, we'll be in recess until Mr.
Judge.
White. Mr. White's back. Yes.
Believe I got cut off with position 47, but we are ready on positions 50 and I think Mr. Sessoms. But we have a couple that are ready to go, Judge.
Okay. Okay, so tell me, I'm sorry, who do we have there?
Positions,
Mr.
50.
Okay, Mr. Marshall. Good morning again, Mr. Marshall. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say it again for me. Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down, Mr. Marshall. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Marshall will be pleading to count 1, simple battery. That's 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, to complete 12 weeks of anger management, to have no further contact with Lakeisha Bates, and to stay away from 2451 Old National Parkway in College Park. He's also pleading guilty to count 2, giving false info to law enforcement. That's 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, 40 hours of community service, and 2 obstruction. That's 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, with the $300 fine.
White?
Your Honor, the only issue we have is that we're asking for no further violent contact. My understanding is that Ms. Bates has been in contact with the state. They do have a child together. So we're asking for no further violent contact and that probation terminate upon completion of all of his requirements.
Any
Yes,
objections?
I hadn't updated my notes yet since we've spoken with her, so no further violent contact.
Okay. Mr. Marshall, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 0000359G, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery, giving false information to law enforcement, and willful obstruction of law enforcement. Is that correct? Courtroom 1, you'll have to unmute for me before he answers.
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Marshall. And when you complete the terms of the probation will terminate. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on probation, okay?
Thank you, Your
Good
Honor.
luck to you, sir.
And Your Honor, we're also ready for positions 32 through 35, Telvin Green.
Okay. Those are going to be negotiated, please.
That's correct, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Green. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You can place your hand down. Thank you, sir. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. In position 32, Mr. Green is pleading to theft by shoplifting. That is a time served plea. He served 58 days. Count 30, or excuse me, position 33, he's pleading to simple battery with the terms 12 months probation or 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, balance probated, to complete 12 hours of anger management, 40 hours community service, and have no further contact with Destiny Taylor. And his 2 FTA cases will be null prost.
Your Honor, we just asked that the probation terminate upon completion of his requirements, and beyond that, nothing further.
Mr. Green, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 003490A, you wish to plead guilty to theft by shoplifting, and in case 24 CR 003586A, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you've given up your right to a trial by jury?
Sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the pleas as negotiated, Mr. Green. When you complete the terms of the probation, it'll terminate. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on probation, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Green.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think I need to finish speaking with Mr. Morrow, and then I believe that'll be it for me. So
Okay.
I think we got cut off a minute ago. Sure.
If we could get a breakout for courtroom 1 and Mr. White, because the phone went down.
Got it.
Okay, so tell me what you'd like for me to do?
A breakout.
Okay, so we can place Mr. White in courtroom 1 into a breakout room, please. Recess.
Your Honor,
Yes, Mr. White.
we are partially ready on Mr. Morrow. He does want to accept the offers. The only issue is that we're asking for no further violent contact with Ms. Duncan. I'm not sure if the state has a position on that.
What position number is this?
47. I mean, and this was a property crime. It wasn't actually any violence against Ms. Morrow.
No objection.
We are ready to go forward then, Judge.
Okay.
Are you
good
asking
mo-
for no stay away as well then?
Yes, I mean, that's his address. So,
Okay, got it. Okay.
they have a 4-month-old.
All right. Apologies, Judge.
No problem. Okay, good morning, Mr. Miro. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court keep your hand up for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can place your hand down now. Thank you, sir. Yes, Ms. Tucker.
Mr. Mero will be pleading guilty to criminal trespass with the terms 12 months to serve 26 days, credit for time served 13 days, balance probated, to complete an alcohol drug evaluation and any recommended treatment, complete 12 weeks of anger management, and to have no further violent contact with, Etiona Duncan.
And what about position 46?
Position 46 will be null prost, or 48. Oh, position 46, yes. He's pleading guilty to DUI with the terms 12 months, served 26 days, credit for time served 13 days, balance probated, to complete the alcohol drug evaluation and any recommended treatment, complete the risk reduction course, pay $750 fine, 40 hours community service, and 1 victim impact panel. The reckless will merge, and the failure to maintain lane is $100 fine.
Your Honor, considering everything he has to do on probation, we're asking you to waive 3 or 4 months of probation fees. I mean, there's a lot on the DUI alone, plus the 12 weeks anger management. And then we'd ask that probation terminate on the criminal trespass and go to non-reporting on the DUI, understanding that he has to be on probation for 12 months for the DUI, but we'd ask it to go non-reporting.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 006574F, you wish to plead guilty to driving under the influence of alcohol less safe and failure to maintain lane or improper lane change. And on case 23 CR 000230F, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Accepted, yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the pleas as negotiated, Mr. Marrow. As far as the position 46, I will waive 3 months of, well, for both positions, I'll waive 3 months of probation fees to help you get and stay on your feet. When you complete the terms on position 46, it'll go to a non-reporting status. And on position 47, when you complete the terms of the probation, the probation will terminate. So on both cases, the sooner you get it done, the sooner on position 46, you won't be on reporting probation and have to pay those fees. And if you get it done quickly on position 47, the probation will terminate. All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. Let's see, does that take care of everyone for the 9 o'clock calendar?
I believe so, Judge.
Oh, okay, so as soon as Ms. Lewis is ready, we'll go over the calendar.
Days, 13 days. So I have 13 days left. 13 days out.
Hold on.
So 26 days, 13 days.
They give you 241. So
Courtroom ready to go over the counter. Okay, can everybody hear me?
Tom, sir.
Yes.
26 days, but 241. You're right.
You ready to go over the counter? Okay. Position number 1, 2, and 3 were pleas. Position 4 and 5. I'm sorry. Position 4 was not pros. Position number 5 was a non-negotiated plea. Position number 6 and 7 is reset for the SAP counter for 211. Position number 8, 9, 10, and 11, not guilty, waive arraignment, reset for trial, further notice. And that's also for 12 and 13. Position number 14 was a plea. Position number 15 is non-pros. Position number 16 is a plea. Position number 17 is reset to Judge Besson probation counter for tomorrow. That's February the 5th. Position number 18 is a plea. Position number 19 is non-pros. Position number 20 was a plea. Sorry, it was non-pros. Position 21 was a plea. And I also need that change. Ms. Tucker has not been in the system yet. Position number 22, 23, and 24, and 25 are all reset to the SAP for next week for February 11th. Position number 26 and 27, defendant has been released. The case is reset for the notice. Position number 28 is reset for the SAP 211. Position number 29 is a not guilty plea, reset for trial for the notice. Position number 30 is non-pros. Position 31 was a plea. Position 32 was a plea. Position 33 was a plea. Position 34 was non-pros. Position number 35 was non-pros. Position 36 was a plea. Position 37 is non-pros. Position 38 was a plea. Position 39 was a plea. Position 40 was non-pros. Position 41 was non-pros. Position 42 was non-pros. Position 43 was a plea. Position 44 was a plea. Position 45 was a plea. Position 46 and 47 was a plea. Position 48 and 49 is non-pros. Position number 50 was a plea. Position 51 is reset for the SAP counter for 218. Position 52, not guilty. Reset trial further notice, waiver arraignment. Also, the same announcement for 53 and 54. Waive arraignment, reset for trial, further notice, not guilty. Position 55 was a plea. Position 56 was a plea. Position 57 was non-pros. Position 58 is reset for SAP 211. Position 59, the defendant was released. Yes, was released, reset further notice. Position number 60 was a plea. Position 61 was a plea. Position 62 was non-pros. Position 63, waive arraignment, not guilty, reset for trial, further notice. 64 was a plea. 65 and 66, not guilty, waive arraignment, reset for trial, further notice. 67 and 68 is reset for the SAP counter for 211. Position 69 is going to be reset to the competency counter for 227. Any questions, any corrections?
No, thank you.
And I will be getting those non-process from you, Ms. Tucker.
Yes.
Okay.
Judge, may we be excused?
Yes, you're not on the DV bench warrant calendar this afternoon.
I've got the judge.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yes, Mr. Dodd. Thank you. Y'all have a good rest of your day. See you next time.
I'm sorry, Judge, I got kicked out, but I'm back now.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Carter, good to see you.
Your Honor, neither one of the DV bench warrants returned my call or answered, so I'll need to speak with both of them, unfortunately.
Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Is Mr. Browning on the line? I saw someone come on. And Mr. White, can we dismiss the South Annex for now?
We can, Judge. I printed this out, and it is a thick packet, and there's numbers all over the place. I'm not sure. It's going to take some time to figure out exactly who I call.
Okay, well, if you get that done before next Tuesday, get back in touch with we'll have Ms. Lewis get in touch with me and we'll set something up. That's okay with you, Ms. Tucker?
This is what we're looking at. It's about 40.
Okay. Okay, so the South Annex, you can be dismissed for now. And we'll be back with you, young man. Let's see. Jonathan Browning on the line. I saw someone come on. And I know that Miss Handy was here earlier at 9 o'clock. But I should be back at 11. So we'll hold on until 11 and see who shows up, Mr. White. Then we'll place you into a breakout room.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Mr. White? Miss Handy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Miss Handy, I'm gonna place you into if you can come on camera for me, please. Okay, yes, I'm gonna place you into a breakout room with Mr. Tom White, who's a public defender, so you can discuss your case, okay? All right, so if we can place Alnicia and Mr. White into a breakout room, please. And let's see, is this Mr. Browning? Main Tech here. Mr. Browning?
Yes, I think I was muted. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now, Mr. Browning. Good morning, sir. As soon as Mr. White comes out of a breakout room, I'll place you, he's a public defender. I'll place you into a breakout room with him so you can discuss the matter as well, okay? So if you just hang on for me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. White, do you want to proceed with Ms. Handy first before we go on to Mr. Browning?
That's fine, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Tucker, are you with me? And I need you to come back on.
Yes, Judge. Yes,
Come
Judge,
back on.
sorry.
No, you're fine. Come back on camera, Ms. Handy. Okay, so I understand that Ms. Handy missed a final plea calendar on January 6th of this year. Is that right? Ms. Tucker?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. White?
Miss Handy, actually did not have access. She didn't receive notice until January 9th. That's not necessarily, the state's fault. She didn't have access to her mailbox, at her apartment complex, for a period of time. And then when she got it, she found the notice, immediately contacted, the clerk. We're just asking you to set aside the bench warrant. She is actually employed and has a 7-year-old daughter that she cares for. She has all the reason in the world to get this case actually taken care of. She eventually would like it expunged. She's trying to take a real estate exam. She can't do that while this is pending. So we're asking that you just set aside the bench warrant for now.
Okay. And so Ms. Handy, it's your responsibility to make sure you don't miss any court dates. It's this court's policy that I'll set aside one bench warrant for Miss Court. You've used that time now, so if you miss any other dates, I'm not going to set it aside in the future, okay? But I will set this one aside. You'll get notice of your next hearing date, ma'am. You're on mute there, ma'am.
I said thank you. I appreciate you for your understanding.
Okay, all right, so you're free to go this morning, ma'am. Mr. White, if you'll prepare that and get it to Ms. Lewis, we'll set it aside. We do have Mr. Browning. Are you still with me? Okay, yes. Let's place Mr. Browning and Mr. White into a breakout room, please.
I'm here, sir.
Okay, I see you there. We're gonna place you into a breakout room, Mr. Browning, so accept it when it comes up on your screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, and I take it that, Ms. Tucker, I take it that Mr. Browning missed a court date,
Correct.
and that was a plea and arraignment calendar on December 4th of 24. And who was that in front of, do you know?
Judge Besson.
All right, Mr. White? Mr. White? Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead, Mr. White.
I'm sorry. If the state said anything, I didn't hear it. We're just asking you to set the bench warrant aside. Mr. Browning, was confused about court dates. He did reach out, fill out the FTA form as soon as he found out he missed a court date though. And I don't believe he's missed any other court dates for this case.
Okay, we have his correct address. He hasn't moved or anything.
As far as I understand, Mr. Browning, go ahead. Let's make sure we have the right address.
Yes, sir. I
Ms.
live in the
Tucker.
same address, 272 Glen Street, Southwest Atlanta. I understand why I missed the court date now. The paper.
Mr. Brown,
Okay.
just give us the address.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. 272 Glen Street, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, apartment 2.
Okay.
Okay, is
30312.
that where the notice went, Ms. Tucker? Do you have that?
I'll have to check.
They didn't have the apartment number on it. That's why I missed that
Okay.
court date.
Okay.
It got returned
Ms.
to St.
Lewis? Ms. Lewis, will you make sure
Yes,
that we have the apartment number?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. He's correct. The first notice didn't have the apartment number on there. And we have the apartment
Okay.
number now. He says apartment 2.
It's apartment 2, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. There's only 4 units, but it's apartment 2.
I got it now.
Okay, so it appears that we have the right address, Mr. Brown, and I'll set aside this one, given that you didn't get the proper notice. So make sure that that you attend your next court date.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank you,
right,
sir.
all right. You're welcome, Mr. Brown. You have a good rest of your day.
Yes, sir. I'm free to go.
And yes, sir. You're free to go this morning.
Thank you. You guys
Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you, everyone. I believe that completes our calendars this morning. We'll see you all next week.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Thank you.